Salt Lake City, Utah. Please make some noise for Josh Johnson!
There's a lot of times when you're reading the news, going through all these stories that are deeply depressing. Every once in a while you get something that's a little, I don't know, a little spark. Something that takes your mind off of all the bad stuff, even if it is one of the bad things, you know? Like, I don't know if y'all saw, but Diddy's lawyer trying to quit. Diddy. If you're not familiar, Diddy is gonna be buried under a prison, but in the Constitution, for as long as we have one, there are things for as long as we have a Constitution, there are things laid out in it that state your rights as a citizen, you know? And your rights in court. You have the right to not incriminate yourself. You have the right to an attorney. You have the right to a speedy trial. You know, you have these rights because we've tried to set up to the best of our ability, and not a great ability, a justice system that kind of works. You know what I mean? I look at the American justice system the way I look at my uncle's car, right? It barely runs, but it does turn on and off. Like, functionally, it is still a car, even if you do have to push it sometimes to really get it started, and you can't trust the brakes. Functionally, it fills the definition of a car. You know? And when I look at the justice system, I'm like, it's a system. But within that system, for as long as we've had it, we've had an individual, whether they did or did not do something, needs to be represented by someone up against the state or the party suing them. And the people that take on these criminal cases, maybe they take them on because they just know our system works best when there's at least someone where it won't be popular, but there's someone to stand on the other side of the thing to make sure that the scales are balanced, that gives an honest effort, even if this person did what they're accused of doing, is a monster. None of that matters, because for the justice system to be a system, we at least have to walk in the door with the scales at balance, right? Innocent until proven guilty, and just something so that we don't all tear each other apart. And then there are people who really believe their clients. They really believe in the innocence of this person. They're like, I know this thing looks bad, and I know from every angle that everyone should just throw their hands up, but I believe this person when they told me that they didn't do it, and so they represent them, right? And neither of those seem to be the case for Diddy. Like that was all mostly theoretical. It's just his lawyer quitting. His lawyer's name, I might be mispronouncing it, but I'm pretty sure it's Anthony Rico, which is one of the most insane last names to have while not wanting to represent Diddy at all. That would be like your lawyer's name being Danny Murder, and he's like, I can't be next to you, though. That's wild that I can't be over here. Because I didn't even know that lawyers, I didn't know that lawyers could quit. Everything I know about the law, I know from like movies and TV and stuff. And usually when you're watching a movie or TV show where someone is having, you know, a butting head scene with their lawyer, it's either the lawyer being like, well, look, if you're not going to be honest with me, you're not going to tell me everything, then you can just find somebody else. And you don't really know what that means, right? Or the person in jail be like, "Oh, you're not even doing your job. You don't even believe me. You know what? You're fired." And then I don't know what that means. But in Diddy's case, this person, I didn't know that you couldn't just quit. I didn't know that you could quit, but I also, if you could quit, I didn't know you couldn't just quit. This is sounding dumber than I'm intending it to sound, but I'm telling you the way I found out. I didn't know that you could quit, and then when I found out you could quit, I didn't know that you couldn't just leave. You have to file a motion to quit. You have to let the judge know I need to quit. You can't just quit the way you quit at Costco. You can't just walk out middle shift. You know what? I'm gonna do something else in my life. And so, he filed a motion so that he could quit, and in the motion he says, "Under no circumstances can I continue." Woof. Under no circumstances can I continue. This man's paying you millions of dollars. Under no circumstances can I continue. And then they, you ask, "Hey, why can't you continue?" And he said, "Hey, look, I'm not going to give you any reasons, okay?" People are asking him, "I'm not going to give you any reasons, okay?" Because that would violate attorney-client privilege, which I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the law. I don't know many laws at all. But that sounds very guilty to me. That sounds wildly guilty. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the law. That sounds very guilty. It feels like he walked, when you're saying, "Hey, why are you quitting?" "Because I have to." "Why?" "I can't tell you, it would violate attorney-client privilege." That sounds like he did it then. That sounds like he did everything then. And the thing that's special about this particular lawyer, Anthony Rico, saying "under no circumstances can I continue," is that this guy was Osama bin Laden's lawyer. And it's like that. Sir, what did he do? What did he do to make you, who defended Osama bin Laden, who defended Osama bin Laden in 2001, Pink Osama? If there was ever a time where the heat was on Osama bin Laden, it was 2001. And you were right there, like my client. But you were Diddy's lawyer. And you were like, "You know what? Terrorism is one thing. This guy is nasty, okay? That is very nasty. I can't be a part of this. Tonight it doesn't sit well with my soul." Oh. Because I know if you're Diddy's lawyer, you got your work cut out for you. You got a whole lot of work cut out for you. You have to hope a new pandemic breaks out that only affects memory. That's the only way you have a chance, is if almost everybody forgets everything. Because look, once again, most of what I know about the law, most of what I know about the law comes from Law and Order, which means I know nothing about the law. Because in Law and Order, they got to wrap it up pretty quick. They take you on a journey, but they got to wrap it up by the end of the episode. Everything can't be to be continued, And so they got to wrap it up. So if they choose to have any of the episode take place in court, a lot of times what will happen, especially if you get into those close minutes where you're like, "Ooh, it's almost top of the hour. How are we going to resolve this?" Right? They usually just have the prosecutor, like the DA or the ADA, really badger the defendant, right? "You did it. didn't you do it? You did it, and you do it again. You looking and doing it right now. You did it, and you did it, and you did it well, and then you did it, and then you got caught, and you wish you were doing it right now. Look at you. You're not even here. You let your eyes glaze over. You're in your mind doing it again. Look at him. He's doing it again right now. He's doing it in front of us, and doing it, and doing it, and doing it. Didn't you do it? Just say you did it, because you did it, and we all know that you did it. You'll never not have done it, because you did it, and you know you did it. You do it again if we let you out. You doing it right now in your mind. You did it, and then the other person finally goes, I did it. And usually they freak out and they're like, I can't handle having to say no more than 8 times. I did it. Oh no, the jury. Dick Wolf. And that's not how it actually works in the real world. Like, sure, there are people who testify and then don't help their case. You know, they get up there and they say things that maybe make them look like they're not sorry or make them look more guilty than they're even presumed to be and everything. But you don't really have that with Diddy. Not just because the trial hasn't started, but with Diddy, he did record himself doing everything he's accused of doing, and the FBI has it. That is pretty bad. Only thing worse than doing something is doing it on camera. You know? Even if the entire jury could not see, they could hear. So it's rough. He also has not only the lawyer that Osama bin Laden had, Diddy's got like 3, 4, 5, 6 lawyers. Got a lot of lawyers. I didn't even know you could have that many lawyers. I guess you can have as many lawyers as you want, but like that already. I'm not a lawyer. Glad I'm not on the jury, but that looks very guilty to me. Everyone that I know who's ever gone to jail or been found innocent and didn't go to jail, they had one lawyer. They had one lawyer to be like, hey, it's just me and he didn't do it. That was the whole proceeding, right? They didn't have a soccer team. That's crazy. You got so many lawyers. I bet you that was one of the things that his lawyer said. He was like, look, you're gonna be good. You got 80 other lawyers. Okay, you don't need me. Let me go. Please, I know too much. No, because at a certain point, a certain amount of lawyers, I know that everyone has their specialties, but that looks bad to me, at least. It's like you need that many specialties at once. You accused of that many things that you go ahead and break up the work like a group project. And then to say you have like 5, 6, 7, 8, 92 lawyers, for any one of them to quit does make everything look worse. You know who didn't quit? OJ's lawyer. OJ's lawyer saw everything. He even saw him in the Bronco, and he was still like, I got you. We gonna be good. You know who else didn't quit? Jeffrey Dahmer's lawyer. He saw that to the end. Ted Bundy didn't even quit defending himself. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep going. Let me see how this plays out. At any point, he could be like, you know what? I'm making me look extra guilty. Let me go ahead and get some help in here. No, it's mind-blowing. I don't get it. You represent Osama bin Laden. I think he was number one in the world. You went for the criminal. You repped the criminal. And whatever we're finding out about Diddy behind closed doors, you were like, not this. Yuck. No. Because you see people in situations where they look incredibly guilty or they do something very dumb that's almost indefensible and they still have legal representation that sticks by them. There was a dude who, okay. I shouldn't laugh, but it's one of the dumbest crimes I've ever heard of. So basically, there was this dude who went to break into it was his house. He lived with his mom, right? But he was gonna go ahead and rob the house and try to sell a bunch of stuff off, right? So then he broke into the house and then got caught because I guess police were just happened to drive by, right? And then they see him breaking the window, going into the house, had a key, breaking the window, going into the house, and then coming out with the stuff. They arrest him, and he can't believe. He's like, you have no right to arrest me. And at first, because he's explaining everything, they thought they had no right to arrest him because it was his place where he lived with his mom, even though it was her house, right? And he said, no, you have no right to arrest me because it's daytime. He genuinely believes you could only get arrested for burglary at night. And his lawyer didn't quit. There was a dude who he tried to rob a bank. He ran up in the bank. This was years ago. This dude ran up in the bank and he had his gun out, and he was like, go ahead and empty everything right now. I'll kill everybody. I don't care, swinging the gun and everything. And then the tellers were like, do you want a bag? Because he just came in, just him and the gun, just waving, him and the gun. No bag, not even a backpack, just here with the gun. The money now. And they were like, would you like something to hold it with or anything? And he was like, damn right, it's a real gun. And they were like, sir, we asked, would you like a bag? Would you like a bag with the money? We're getting the money right now, but would you like a bag? And he's like, you're right, I've had it. And then they turned to each other and they're like, I don't think he can hear us. And so then they hit the alarm. The alarm going off, this dude's standing there. I'm waiting for my money. They're like, no, we're getting it. They get the money, they get the bag, and before he can even leave the bank, cops roll up. And basically, he was hearing impaired. And so then he sued them for taking advantage of his disability. And his lawyer stood by him. Do you see how this normally works? That's how it's supposed to go. Your lawyer is supposed to stand by you. They're supposed to be your ride or die. Diddy's lawyer said, no, I like to live and I will not be getting in the car. Oh, that's insanity. That many lawyers. You got 98,000 lawyers. I feel like Diddy just gonna keep hiring lawyers to make sure there's no one left to be on the jury. I don't even know what you would do. You know what I mean? Like, when you look at a situation like this where the whole world knows about Diddy and Diddy's case, right? It's global news, right? And everyone is expecting things to come out during his case. So there's more eyes on it than even when it started. It wasn't just a thing that popped up, oh, Diddy got arrested and then it's over. It's the fact that all of Hollywood could be implicated. That's the feeling that people have, right? So people are going to be watching the trial nonstop for every update possible, because maybe your favorite pop star, maybe your least favorite R&B artist, whoever, right, will be involved in this case somehow. And so the whole world will be watching, and the whole world already knows. So how could you not have, in a sense, at least if you're Diddy's defense, a tainted jury? Because how are you going to pull from people who can be impartial, who don't know who Diddy is, right? And then when you pull those people, a judge can say, and judges tell people all the time, look, I don't want you to engage with any media about the case. I don't want you reading any tabloids or social media or anything like that. And don't talk to anybody about the case. No podcast, no whatever, right? No interviews, no nothing. And even if you do that, it's impossible because of the way that we live in the world and the way that we interact with social to not be bombarded with things about whatever the biggest news topic is. So then how is it possible for Diddy to have a fair jury, right? And his lawyer could have made that case just now. And instead he said, no, I'm getting away from this dude. I cannot be near him at all. That's so bad that the only black lawyer he had was like, nah. You're not gonna get me caught up. Because you know, I think he's just scared. I think he's scared that he's so close to it that he's literally just representation, but he might go to jail. That can happen. I didn't know that could happen, but that can happen. I had never seen it happen in my life until Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen, in case you don't remember, was Trump's lawyer. And Trump got in some legal trouble, and somehow Michael Cohen went to jail. That's a superpower. That's a superpower if I've ever seen one. I've never seen someone dodge charges so hard they hit their lawyer in the chest. That's crazy. That's the I'm rubber, you're glue of law. That's insane. Trump had all this legal trouble. He's like, take him. Michael, I'm sure Diddy's lawyer saw that and was like, that could happen to me. I refuse. My last name is already Rico. No, have to get away. Because who takes up for you is huge. Who takes up for you in a situation where you're in the public eye and you have a scandal or you've been found to have done something, right? Whoever takes up for you, they do shift the narrative around you, and they do shift public opinion, either for you or against you, right? Like, let's say in a scenario, right? Completely hypothetical scenario. Let's say I'm driving. I can't. I'm very bad at it. But let's say I'm driving. Once again, this would never happen, all right? I failed my driving test and I have not driven since, okay? I'm very bad. But let's say I'm driving behind the wheel of a car, which I should never be. It's a chair that could kill someone. It is insane that people just get in those and just go. Like, that blows my mind. I will take an Uber or the bus. I am fine without being behind the wheel of a death machine because all it takes is your foot and you could just take anybody out. That's crazy. I don't like being in cars in the front driving. Every time I move, it moves. That's crazy. I don't like that at all. I'll sit in the back. But let's say I'm driving, okay? And I'm driving because maybe my friend is hurt. Maybe my friend's like, oh no, I'm bleeding. No, I've been shot, whatever it is. And then he's like, you have to drive me to the hospital. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll kill us both. And so then I get in the car and then I'm hitting stuff. I'm just, because I don't know which one's the gas and which one's the brake, because honestly, they should be further apart. In my opinion, it should be like go-karts, like right foot gas, left foot brake. And then you can just drive like this. This feels more natural to me. I don't know what y'all are doing with this thing. This feels insane. To see people doing this all the time, ooh, I'm gonna start, I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna start, I'm gonna stop, whatever. I wanna just do it like when you're in a go-kart. I drive so well in a go-kart, not just because I can't go fast enough to murder, but also because I know that left is stop, and that's fine. But sometimes you get a foot, uh-oh, I've hit them both. What does that do? So then I'm in the car and I'm driving, right? And I'm doing it poorly because I do it poorly. Because as I've said before, on stage, to many people, I don't like lefts. So I take rights until I get there, okay? So I'm just gonna take a right and then take a right, take a right. My friend probably gonna bleed out, but I'm taking these rights because a left will kill everybody, right? Now I get to the hospital, and let's say I've got to the hospital and I have run over at least 26 people, okay? So I'm being arrested, my friend is hopefully being treated, so I've saved his life, but I am in a lot of trouble. And let's say that Dolly Parton came to my defense, right? Because I'm not famous enough to get in trouble on the news, but there might be a couple of tweets where it's like, do you see that comedian just floored everybody? Just drove on the sidewalk for 6 blocks and took a right and drove on the sidewalk for 4 more blocks and took a right and drove on the sidewalk for 2 blocks and then took a right and then got to the hospital and hit somebody in front of the hospital. And I only hit them because I was trying to hit the brake, but it should be over here. But instead, it's in the middle. I guess. I don't know. I'm never in the car right there. I don't know what y'all do. Why isn't it just pep? Why isn't it just buttons? Let me hit a gas button. That would be nice. To just have the wheel and then a button. Right thumb is gas, left thumb is brake, and it's like a video game. But instead, you're just over here. Crazy way to do it, but y'all do you, okay? Let's say, though, that Dolly Parton comes to my defense. Probably never gonna happen. I don't know her, would love to, but let's say. She's like, I know Josh personally, okay? And I know he would never purposely run over 26 people. It must have been something that happened. And you say he was in a car. He said he would never do that. It must be an emergency. Oh, he was trying to help his friend. Y'all, please, if you can find it in your heart, to forgive Josh and his dumb feet. I'm just saying, if Dolly Parton came to my defense, I think that would shift a lot of people's opinion of me. Everyone loves Dolly Parton. Everybody knows Dolly Parton is a sweetheart. And so if she came to someone's defense, you would think, oh, if Dolly sees something in this person, then yeah, maybe they're a good person. Maybe she's right. Maybe he didn't mean to run over 26 people. No. I don't know what Diddy does from here, because the guy who represented Osama bin Laden dipped. I don't know who you get after that. That seemed like the bottom or the top, depending on what your definition of willing to represent evil is. I don't like if the dude who represented Osama is like, I'm a dip, I don't know who else would jump in, you know? Giuliani? Okay, well, he lost his license. I'm positive he lost his license. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's the only one who can do it. I have no idea. Because someone did come to Diddy's defense in the wake of Diddy losing that representation, you know, close proximity to Diddy's lawyer being like, I can't do this anymore. Someone did come to Diddy's defense publicly. Unfortunately, it was Kanye West. In a tweeting tirade, Kanye West went on an absolute rampage. He called himself a Nazi. He posted a bunch of like anti-Semitic stuff. He said all sorts of things. And then he said, by the way, free Puff. I think if you're Diddy in jail, you're like, this is worse. That is worse. I did not know it could get worse than the Osama bin Laden lawyer leaving me. But this is bad. This is very, very bad. That was me kind of like doing a little bit of rap in the way that Diddy does it because he's not good at it. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, this is bad. This is worse because he's calling himself a Nazi, and then he's like, also, that guy. Think of that guy and me together right now. Think of when you think of me, I want you to think of him, all right? But who knows? Maybe when the lawyer who represented Osama bin Laden dips, maybe the only person left to represent you is is Ye. I think that's... I could see that. I could see Ye showing up to court being like, Your Honor. I rest my case. Joined by my co-host, fellow stand-up comedian Logan Nielsen. Logan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right. It does seem like we are held captive right now in someone's grandma's house.
Yeah, if you see the video, yeah, it does. Yeah, specifically a grandma hostage taker is what we have.
Yeah, it looks like we're being kept well fed and entertained with stories. I can't tell if the stories of the torture or the reprieve from the torture, but we know a lot about harmonica playing from the 1920s. A lot about someone named Thurston.
Yep. What soda pop used to cost in the 60s. We know that now.
Also a lot of glass doors, so this is probably one of the most escapable prisons I've ever been in.
Yeah, that's true. This just slides right open. That's not.
Yeah.
No, this is it's strange because the camera's pretty far away if you're watching the video, and the futon we're on. The only way to really sit comfortably was for us to slump back like this.
This futon is so uncomfortable. You can tell no one's ever had sex on it.
Or too many people have had sex on it.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
I feel like this one is even the way I'm sitting right now, this is just regular sitting with regular legs that are just both the feet touching the ground and the ass touching the back of the futon.
Yeah.
And I'm so deeply uncomfortable right now that there's no way someone had pleasurable intercourse on this day.
Yeah, I don't know. I keep having no way of feeling and looking comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, this is an Airbnb, so neither one of us will have to deal with this situation much longer. But
yeah, this is the second one. This is not the one I was in last week. This one is better. So I know we're not giving it a great review.
It already looks better.
It looks better.
They have a blender.
They do. They have a blender, but they don't have a coffee maker, which is an issue for me. But it's all right. I've been doing instant coffee, and I made it work. But I just feel like that's one of the things to put. They have that in shitty hotels, have coffee makers.
Which I don't get, because if you're in a really bad hotel, why would you want to be awake for it? I'm just saying. It's
fair.
It's weird that they give you coffee so you can stay awake and realize what a terrible motel you're in.
If you go to sleep, then you realize how bad the bed is and that it needs to be cleaned.
Not if you're fully asleep.
Yeah.
If you're unconscious, you're it's not until you wake up that you're like, oh, wait, my life is not.
Do you remember we were on the road not too long ago and I just picked up the covers and you could see the light go through the covers and you could see how nasty the inside of the quilt was?
Yeah, so, okay, how's the best way to explain this?
So I feel weird being way closer than you, but I think I'm more comfortable sitting like this. Is that weirder?
It's only weirder because from here you look like you're doing a TikTok about me talking.
I think I'm out. Yeah, I'm reacting to you, and I set my shot out of focus because I'm out of focus. Just something like this. This is just not great when you're a big guy to be like, yeah, I want to just lean into the shot gut first is what I really want. And it doesn't help too that the lighting is making me look like, I don't know, the Wall. Look at that. There's no chance.
Yeah, you do look like Wall.
Hopefully I do some color correction on this. Anyway, sorry, not to be too visual, but that took some doing to set up, and we're both so warm. But sorry, the thing you were setting up.
Oh, I don't even remember what that is.
The blanket thing, whatever.
Oh, no, just the blanket. So we were on the road, and Logan lifted up his sheet.
Just the quilt. Yeah, it was like the top quilt.
And wow, the light that went through it revealed what's the best way to describe it? The guts of the quilt.
Yeah, the
Like-
the innards.
Yeah, yeah.
The
So
meat.
all of the quilt intestines were fully loose.
Quilt testins. I know you hate when I try for a pun, but I feel like that's the closest I was gonna get. Quilt testins.
Yeah.
Sure. But yeah, because it was like the I guess like the feathers in it. I don't know if it was like a down blanket, but it had like the feathers in it. But you could see like where the stuffing, how little of it was left. Excuse me, how little of it was left, and how orange it was.
Oh yeah, it was like deep orange to where I thought it was.
And the blanket was not orange. The blanket was white.
I thought it was washed blood. It was so orange.
Yeah, it looked weird.
Yeah.
It was a strange.
And that's one of those things where anytime something is well lived in, it's not going to be great.
It's a nice way to put it. Well lived in.
It like anytime it's been used a lot, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be. I'm sure it used to be so thick you couldn't see through it with fluffy amounts of feather that felt like a cloud laying on your chest. And by the time we stayed there, years after this hotel had been opened,
Right.
it felt like instead of sleeping on a cloud, it felt like an angel fell out of heaven, but the actual impact of them hitting pavement is what the quilt felt like. It just felt like
Right.
you know.
Lucifer's blanket.
I mean, it wasn't hot. It was just
Well, but I mean, when he
deeply
first
uncomfortable.
fell.
From
Is
okay,
what I was saying.
gotcha.
The OG fallen angel, the original.
Yeah, we also might be having heat stroke.
Oh, I am not doubting that at all.
You could probably tell, even listening to the recording, that we're both deeply uncomfortable, and that's probably I can't think of a thing that is more likely to be happening right now than me being a bit overheated, pretty tired, and maybe blurred vision.
Yeah. It's like I feel bad that this is what I've been talking about all week. Not necessarily on the podcast, but like just when I've done to people when I've done sets and stuff, but it's so fucking hot. And I mean, I know it's like not just in New York, the world, because the UK set their records. I can't remember if we talked about that last episode, but it's like this is a heat wave for the planet, and I'm staying in places that don't really have AC. This one does, but it's really just the window unit in the bedroom.
I wonder if it's a heat
I chose
wave
wrong
for the places that are like known to be cold. So if there's people right now in places that are usually cold, and they're like, I only had to wear one jacket. It is burning up out here.
I mean, that's kind of how it is. Like
in what, Alaska?
Sometimes, I mean, in the Midwest, hell, like Iowa, Minnesota, like. So
I guess I never count.
Not so much in the summer, but
yeah, I never really count the Midwest because in my mind, it's like meant to be hot sometimes there.
True.
I'm talking about places that are always cold.
Well, in the Midwest too is like a muggy hot too. We get humid too. So when it gets hot, like I'm sure. I mean, hell, Louisiana has to be the same. It probably gets muggy as hell down there, right?
The heat stroke in Louisiana is pretty funny because I mean, we could cut all that early stuff out and just get right to this in the episode. The heat stroke in Louisiana is very funny to watch because it's like some people, there's no difference.
Why do some people write in and call me a monster and not you?
That's
what I don't understand. You just said watching heat stroke is funny, and people write in and be like, Logan's a fucking monster. I'm like, I've never laughed at heat stroke.
I mean, you did when I said it.
Okay, well,
yeah, I'm just saying there are some.
But
people,
I'm a bystander. Still, I'm still a witness, not the doer of the crime.
There are some people that you could talk to where you're like, dang, you had a full stroke in front of me and I didn't notice. Like just the way that you talk and how you carry yourself is already a little slurred, you know?
I did your show on Wednesday. And I know you were at a different show, and I walked up there. Our friend Rob was there. He said I got up on stage and turned around, and just in that time, I was sweating. So first off, I just turned around and was sweat. And then at one point, I tried to say I currently live in the Midwest, and what came out was I live Midwest.
Yeah.
Is all I said. I said I live Midwest.
But you see, your heat stroke is noticeable because of how you talk normally. But when you get someone who's like
like a Cajun accent.
Yeah. When you get somebody with some drawl, that sounds like heat stroke.
No matter when.
That's how. Like if you get
it's
someone,
December and you're like, are you tired? Did you?
Yeah, if you get someone that's like, you know what the boys over there was saying, man. You know with them boys, you know over there with them boys.
Yeah.
You know there with them boys. It's hot out here with the bunch with the boys. Oh, you done been before with the boys.
The boys.
Yeah.
Yo, man, I got to about that.
I need some water and go to the bayou.
Wow.
And then before you know it, they're like slumped over, and you're like, "Hey, is he okay?" Like I've watched heat stroke happen in front of me to other people,
yeah,
and not known the signs right away. Like I had to learn them when I was pretty young, and then
are you having heat stroke or are you just Southern?
Yeah, 100%, man. Like I think that I think that sadly right now in this moment in life, I'm putting together how much a few accents and dialects out there sound like heat stroke.
Yeah. Name the other ones. Go ahead. Take our show there. Let's get a new fan base. Let's go and become edgelords.
No, I just mean like I think that there are people that I grew up around, especially people in like more of the rural area that had a lot of that French. Slang,
yeah.
Would have the drawl to pull off some really like slow talking that you can't quite understand.
Yeah.
So it's one thing when someone's speaking a different language and they're speaking so fast that even if I spoke that language, I'd need subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very different when someone's speaking slowly and you're still like, oh no,
I'm still lost.
I don't know what is being said at all.
Yeah,
especially when it's directions. I've been in the car with people where we get a little bit lost and maybe we're in Ball or something like that. Mm-hmm. And you know,
in Ball, is that a town?
Ball, Louisiana, yeah.
Okay.
And so they're just parts of Louisiana where if you get lost and you
That's
ask
where you
someone
live
for directions, they will get you more lost because you don't understand them.
And they're probably using like local references. When you see the blank, then
not only will they use local references, but they'll also be like, they'll tell you a colloquialism you've never heard before.
Oh, I love that. When you encounter that in the wild, a new phrase you've never heard.
Yeah. So you're like, oh, you take a stone's throw this far, and then you could just take a left, and then just spitting distance after that. And you're like, these are all...
You just give one.
These are all like bodily function things that I don't know how that means for a car.
You see this, then you just do a little turtle shuffle to the left.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
No, it's pretty bad. In lieu of us doing like Scare B&B last episode,
right?
I just remembered there were a couple of things that we had previously like not really touched on specifically when we did some of those old review episodes.
Oh, okay.
And there's just a couple of ones I remembered from some restaurants that like were spillover from. Remember that episode we did?
Yeah.
Okay. And it just made me laugh because we ordered Seamless before we started recording everything because neither one of us had eaten.
Yeah, we're like, let's get hot and full.
Yeah, hot and full is a great
That'll
recipe
be good. That'll be good for the show. Let's get hot and full and let's really lean back.
Yeah.
Let's really get comfy, sit back with a full tum-tum.
It would be wild if there's just 30 minutes of this episode where neither one of us are saying anything because we've quickly fallen asleep.
Yeah, or we are having heat stroke and are only understanding each other.
Honestly, if I was having heat stroke right now, I wouldn't even be able to tell you. Like, does it come all at once, or what's?
I've seen it happen playing football.
I mean, I've seen it happen to other people, but
it is weird because sometimes
what does it feel like.
Well, see, the weird one, I can't remember if I've talked about it on the show before. We'll get back to these restaurants, but I can't remember if we talked about it on the show. But when I saw my friend get heat stroke during a football practice, and he stuck with it for a while, and like he says he does not remember like the latter half of the practice really, or like once we got to like the real big conditioning stuff at the end. And he was going hard to the point to where we were doing like up downs, and he kept going, and they blew the whistle and we stopped, and he did like 3 more, and we were all like, "Hey Tom, you can quit." And he's just like, ugh, ugh. And he was just like, his body had taken over, but his mind was no longer there until we went to like have our final like, breakdown meeting, and he runs up and just falls over. And then he tried to get his pads off and no one noticed, but he got his pads off and then they just got stuck. So he was just laying on the ground with his shoulder pads over his head. And I had to give I think I've definitely talked about this on the show, but then I had to give the on deck speech that night, which is especially like cycles through the seniors and juniors, and you give like a little like speech, like a fucking let's go get him or whatever. And I was slurring and my vision was blurred. So I think I was having heat stroke too. And I had a speech prepared, and it was all gone. I just went there. I'm like, look at this fucking football, and the team because we're playing, and we need, and let's just and if because so let's go. And then I said like fuck a few times in it, so I had to run a fence and back too while having heat stroke. Because if you swear, you got to run a fence and back.
Was your coach? I know we've also touched on this. We're gonna get to the restaurant.
Yeah, sorry,
but was your coach fit?
Yeah, they were all pretty fit, mostly.
Like, in my opinion, you can't coach football unless you're fit.
Unless you do
There's
it too.
nothing like
a
out of shape guy telling me to run.
Yeah, no,
that makes me angrier.
They were all
like,
pretty fit.
You do it with me then.
Right,
you need it.
Yeah, you go.
I'm out of shape from just being young and not knowing how to be in shape.
Right.
You actually are teetering into some health problems.
They were all in pretty good shape. And that was my biggest thing too, is it wasn't until years later, actually until I started, because I teach with a lot of them now. Mm-hmm. When I sub at that school. So like most of my coaches are all still there. Mm-hmm. And I teach with them, and I kind of realize how not old they are. And so I realized that they were all like fucking 25 when I was in high school, which makes me angry now retroactively to be like, I cared so much what these fucking 25-year-olds thought. And now there's no person's opinion I value less than a 25-year-old.
Yeah. What is it like now that because the thing with decades is that teens to 20s feels like a huge gap.
Yes.
And 20s to 30s also feels like a big gap.
Absolutely.
But 30s to 40s and 40s to 50s feels like you're all just adults now.
Yeah.
So now that you're teaching with them, how do you perceive that relationship of like, does it feel like time has shrunk between the two of you?
Like, what do you mean time has shrunk between us?
So if someone's 15 and then someone's 25, I can see a 15-year-old very much trying to impress a 25-year-old.
They look way older than you and feel just way more worldly than you.
That's what I'm saying. But now, if you're 35 and they're 45, does it feel like there's almost no time between the two of you now?
Kind of, yeah. We all feel... I think it's also, too, because they all, at least, if they haven't seen me do stand-up, and some of them have, but a lot of them know of my career and, living in Chicago and stuff. So I think they also... Not that it's like necessarily a respect thing, but they are aware that like I'm doing shit they've never done. You know what I mean? So I think there's a little more of like they're actually interested in my life, and because when you're in high school and you are in a small town in Iowa, you're not that interesting to talk to. You haven't done anything,
Gotcha.
You're a kid in a small town in the middle of nowhere. So I mean, yeah, I feel much more. I think it's also too, not that I don't care what they think. I respect all of them, and I still think they're all good guys. I just have a way different relationship with them now, where it's like now I'm like, oh, I'm a guy they want to talk to now. It's not just me trying to impress them. I'm also like, oh, a guy they like knowing. Most of them. Mm-hmm. So
no, that makes sense. Because I'm just thinking about that. How if you knew someone when you were 18 and they were 28, that feels like worlds apart. But then, if you're 48 and they're 58, it's like, all right, one of y'all get better prices at movie theaters. That's about it.
Right, yeah.
As far as, like, life differences.
No, for sure. For sure. And I guess it's more, too. It's not even so much that, like, when I think back, I'm like, oh, why did I care what they thought? It's like, well, they were my coaches and my teachers. You want them to like you. But it's more, I'm like, oh, I wish I had my view of them that I have now, which I'm like, oh, they're just a guy. Like, yeah, I had to impress him and do stuff for him, but it's also like...
Yeah, I go back and forth on that, because here's the thing. When you look at an accomplished person or a person in a position of authority or any of that stuff, when you look at all of them as just a dude, right?
Right.
That's more realistic and it's helpful for perspective, but what it robs you of a little bit is like... if something is special to you and you want that thing and then you want to do it better than the person that you look up to, they can't just be another guy, if that makes sense. They kind of have to have this little like air around them.
Well, and I have that. There were teachers who were older than them. Those were like the teachers who were like whoa, those guys are so fucking smart. And like those are the ones I still look at as like the geniuses I knew. And these guys are all smart. It sounds like I'm really bashing the people who are my coaches, and I'm not. I respect all of them and I like them all a lot. But I think I was trying so hard to be like a kid they like, especially because too, like my older brother was like, they fucking loved him. He was such an amazing student and a really great athlete and stuff too. And I was fine in both categories, So it's like, I'm like, I just want to be liked. And I was more doing that rather than like pursuing stuff because I wanted to be good at it, or, you know what I mean? That's what I mean by it.
Gotcha.
Where it's like, and then that's an ice cream truck going by again. That's 2 episodes in a row that we've had an ice cream truck going right by.
This neighborhood love ice cream.
This neighborhood does love ice cream.
This neighborhood, they got, it's sad.
I hear it everywhere I go in Brooklyn.
There's so much ice cream in Brooklyn. Nobody really can run for the ice cream truck. Like if you miss them, you're just gonna have to get them tomorrow.
I mean, it sounds like they go slow. So, because I hear them in just the one block for a long time.
Yeah, I remember one time the ice cream.
What
truck,
did we just talk about for a long time? Was I rambling about my coaches?
Yeah.
God, I'm in my 30s. What is happening?
So one time, and we're gonna get to the restaurants, I promise. One time,
Oh, I hope we don't.
when I was in Louisiana, I was like a teenager, and this is when I would do cross country. My mom gave me a key, so when I got dropped off from school and from practice, I could just go in the house. Because it was when I was like old enough that she didn't need to take me to the library after school every day.
Yeah.
And so, sure enough, man, oof. I remember I got dropped off at home. I went inside and was playing with Rocky or something, and then the ice cream truck for the neighborhood broke down in front of my house.
Oh, shit.
But they just never turned the music off. And so they just were camped out trying to get like someone to bring a tire out and everything.
Yeah.
And selling ice cream the whole time. So for them, it's just business. But for me, it's like 2.5 hours of the same ice cream truck music. And you know what's crazy? So I didn't have any noise canceling anything, and so all I could do was loud. Like I could just play music.
All I could do was loud.
All I could do was loud to combat it. I couldn't noise cancel. I couldn't Bose it. I didn't have that type of money, and so I could just get loud so that I didn't have to hear it.
All I could do is loud. It pleased me. I live Midwest. All I could do was loud.
I'm just saying that loud does not. It still penetrated the volume,
Right.
which is crazy because I was blaring stuff. Because after the first 20 minutes, I'm like, man, I hope that, because they had clearly broken down. Like you saw the guy,
Right.
His wheel was in a weird position, and he was like not quite out of the street.
I wonder if there's something like scientific to the music of those things. Like if they're at a perfect frequency that they can cut through anything.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it is, it should be illegal because it's so infuriating. I was getting so angry. And the first 20 minutes, I was tolerating it because I was like, that guy's probably having a hard day. Like, I was actually trying to be empathetic. Like,
Right.
That dude's probably having a hard day and everything. And then after, like, the first 40 minutes, I was like, he's at least got to turn the music off, right? Like, I can't be the only one. Like, I even looked out the window at my neighbor's house, see if anybody else was looking out the window to see if anybody else was, like, stressed about
Surely
this.
the neighborhood is infuriated. Right
Yeah,
now.
I was like, surely these people don't love ice cream so much that they need the music while they lick the cone.
It's not special. Then I can just go to a store.
I was getting
know?
furious. And then after the first hour, I was like, I need to do something. And so I had little earbuds, but they were terrible. They were like the cheap earbuds.
Well, and even just because how old were you?
Like 13, 14.
Yeah, see, at that age too, like earbud technology was not great because even the early like good earbuds hurt your head.
Yeah, they really like stretched that. You be walking around with some loose ears.
Yeah, they were not built for ear shape at all. They didn't realize it.
They were just so excited that music came through the wires that they were like, leave it.
Yeah, cram these circles into your ears.
And so that didn't work because even though I was listening to music so much it was hurting my ears, I could still hear the like, hello. And so then I was like doing a hum on top of the music. So that I did that. So I was just like, the entire time the music was playing. And it was still cutting through. This is like the telltale heart of ice cream.
Yeah, you truly lost your mind there.
And then I was like,
with earbuds and blaring music, screaming to yourself.
Dude, it was like an hour though.
I know. The best would be then if the music stopped and then everyone outside is just hearing, "Ah!" And they're like, oh shit, turn it back on.
Nah. At an hour and a half, I take out the earbud because now my head just hurts. I have like a headache from how loud the music was.
Well, just humming too. It's gonna hurt.
I turn the TV on. I turn it on full volume. So like, you know those levels that's ridiculous to let a TV go to, like that, like those volumes that go to 80.
Yeah,
I'm at like 77, and I'm just blaring the, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. That Spider-Man just going. But then that's not even enough consistent audio to be cutting out.
They say that a hero can save.
We're not even there yet. We're not even to like the credits.
Oh, is that just the soundtrack? It's the movie, yeah.
This is the movie, and so even the slow parts.
Yeah, careful that you don't unplug that, please.
Oh yeah. No, it's just even the slow parts are just straight up blaring. Now the ice cream music seems louder because the movie is so loud. So I'm like, anytime I can hear it I'm like, did he turn up the volume as well?
I just love too the ice cream music in the background and then Green Goblin laughing over it. Like, there fucking is again. There's the y'all talking shit.
But look, wait. This thing. So you see how it started again?
It dips. Yeah, if you can't hear it, sorry, the music stopped for a second because we're hearing the truck go back again.
Yeah. Now, what they did in Louisiana in my neighborhood was they're like, and they do it again and again and again, and then it stopped, and then you would hear, hello.
That's what I was wondering because you said that and I understood that you meant like that's how it played in your thing, but that sounds genuinely alarming.
No, it's horrible. It's so bad, and so that's also happening.
That sounds like Pennywise
for 2.5 hours.
Hello, do.
I've never in my life wanted to brandish a gun.
Wow,
more than when I hit the 2-hour mark. Of that ice cream music, because I was just like, guys, this is now everyone in the neighborhood that's gonna buy ice cream has bought ice cream. You're not weighing anybody else down,
right?
Like you're not leaning on them hard enough for them to come out of their house and be like anything to make the music stop. Everybody that's bought ice cream is gonna buy ice cream.
Anything to make the music stop.
Just turn it off.
Wow.
Yeah.
How'd their business do though? Did a lot of people swarm the truck?
They got swarmed at first, but then this is my problem. Everyone that swarms you lives here. You were already driving around the neighborhood. You were going to get them anyway.
Oh, that meant there were some kids a few blocks away who were really excited for 2 hours for the truck to get to their house.
Yeah, I guess so.
They just stood there waiting.
I guess they just sat there like,
just outside.
Any minute now.
It's got to be coming.
Yeah, my mom doesn't let me walk into the edge of the street, so
I got to stay here and wait. It's so hot out here.
Yeah.
I got the money crumpled up in my hand, and I just want them to. Why won't it come?
Have you ever seen the fire hydrant get open? Like,
not get opened. I've seen it open, but yeah.
Oh no! I've watched it this year especially. They're popping hydrants hard.
Oh, I've been seeing a lot of them already going, but I haven't seen like the process.
Yeah. Oof. There was one guy who popped it open. I was about to close it, and a guy ran up and he was like, "Hey, just give me a minute."
Good.
and then took like a full shower
Just
with
let
the
me-
hydrant. Like people would stop playing in it, so the guy was about to close it, and he was like, "Hey, let me do my thing." And
Just
then
let me cool off a bit. There we go.
man, that
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, it has been a hot couple weeks out here. I'm sure it is just everywhere, but you get that, I don't know, that New York sweat's a different sweat. I will say that. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. No, I spent this whole time thinking I left Louisiana.
Yeah. This thing.
It's like almost as bad.
Like I've been in like LA when it's hot, but it's that, I think it's just that desert hot. It's a little more dry. There's an ocean nearby. I mean, I guess there's an ocean nearby here too, but it hates us. I don't know. It must just be the tall ass buildings and all the concrete. It must just be that. It just it turns into one big hot rock.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't even imagine what I'll do if this continues.
I have like every time I get back from doing something, I get home and I have to peel off a wet shirt and then just, I don't know, just try anything.
It's like because you can't move. You can't move from Earth, so
You can't move from Earth.
we're just here.
Yeah, I thought we had more time before the end was coming, but boy, she's barreling forward at us.
Oh my god! It's like
This can't be a good podcast to listen to, can it?
I mean, we've got out of the 30 minutes we've been recording, we have 20 minutes that are very entertaining.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Just checking.
yeah. It won't be until you listen back that you know for sure, but the parts that you've laughed have been funny.
I know. I was just joking because it's just us constantly being like, "Oh, it's so hot."
Yeah, but it's also
Oh,
hot
God.
for them listening.
That's true. That's
if,
true.
if they listen to this in the winter of 2023, it's gonna look like a misstep. It's gonna look like, wow, they really cared about what was going on in their life at that moment.
yeah.
That,
Always check the date of the podcast episode you're listening to, just for some general context. You know what I mean? It's like when I was like finding new podcasts to listen to, and then that started a few years back, and then you catch up to like 2020, and it's always like the show changes completely, and everyone sounds a little more confused and sad. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's how we were all thinking then.
Yeah. It's so hot in here. I'm almost positive every one of these plants is fake.
That's a good point.
There's no way they're alive.
No, that one's definitely fake. Probably those ones too. That one, I mean, yeah, that one looks plastic.
Yeah, for those of y'all who can't see, which is everyone watching.
Because even if you're watching, they're off camera.
There are 5 plants in here, and I'm almost positive that 4 of them are fake. And the only reason that bothers me is that
also I'm not watering them, so I hope they're fake. No one's sneaking in here to give them water.
I don't like the stolen valor of fake plants.
The stolen valor of fake plants.
Let me just explain. So
I'm very
there
excited.
are
We're going to get to
people-
the restaurant reviews in a second.
there are people out there that take care of plants in their home. They keep them alive.
Yep.
They keep the oxygen in the apartment fresher.
Sure.
All right. And they show responsibility for caring for a living thing. Then there are other people who are like, let me just take all of that and
Yeah.
buy something plastic for $6
Yeah.
and put it in the same place I would put the real plant.
I like to think of it as an action figure of a plant.
I think of it as plant taxidermy, and it's disgusting.
Plantsodermy. Come on, that one was right there. I knew you were going to hate that one too.
Honestly, if the seat on this futon wasn't backwards and I wasn't sunken in, I would get up right now.
Say if I had any strength at all, I'd storm away.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jess has been. I can't remember if we've talked about this, but Jess has been a little plant crazy these days.
Really?
We got a lot of plants in the fucking house now, and it's like it's okay. I'm fine with it, but it's like it seems like anytime we go anywhere, we were here in New York when she was here with me, and we walked by somewhere, and she was like, "Ooh, I could get this." I'm like, "No, you can't. That's not going to fit in your carry-on. What are you doing? You're not going to buy plants here." She's like, "Well, they might ship it." I'm like, "Or we just find it where we live. Like, don't do that."
Yeah, New York doesn't have any special plants.
And exactly. And the time we've shipped plants, they get all fucked up. So she's done it before. They show up not happy because it turns out plants don't love living in a box for a couple days.
So when I was taking the bus,
Yeah.
this is like maybe 2 years ago because this was so close. I was taking the bus to do a show 3 years ago, I guess, because it would have been 2019.
Yeah.
Taking the bus to do a quick spot in Connecticut,
Okay.
and I was like, I was on the bus, and the whole time I was on the bus, I was like, I should have just taken the train. I feel that way every time I take a bus. I'm like, the train. Sometimes the train is not quicker. A lot of people think that the train's going to be quicker because it's like a straight shot and there shouldn't be any traffic or anything. But sometimes there is. Sometimes something happens with a train that's an hour ahead of you.
And it's the only one path it can really take.
It's the one path you can take, so then it does delay you by 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Like, it's a misconception that the train is just always on time. They love to be on time, but they're not always.
Right.
Anyway, I'm on this bus, and there's this grown man handling a bag with a bag in it of fish, right? Of like live fish. So
Okay.
he's like clearly gone to a pet store and bought some fish.
Right.
And I don't know where exactly he's going, but he's in New York getting on the Connecticut directed bus. So he's at least going to be riding for a while.
God, I hope this doesn't have the same ending as the bag of soda, man.
No.
That'd be a bummer.
No. But
Then the
it's-
guy with an umbrella gets on the bus.
No, but it's just funny to me because he had all these fish, different fish, by the way, that were going to be, I was assuming, in the same aquarium. And he was like an aisle over from me. And so I was just like casually looking in the bag as he was handling it because he kept adjusting them. Like, he kept like putting one that was at the bottom up at the top and like taking them out and putting them back in and stuff like that. And I was
Taking
So there were like a bag of goldfish,
Right.
A bag of the little bitty, whatever you call them. They've got a little color to them, and they're like faster than goldfish, but they're much smaller.
Okay.
Let me see. I mean, I know you don't care about the actual type, but like it was like imagine a goldfish,
Right.
And then these little things that are just like they usually have whole schools of them in some aquariums,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you what they're called, but I
and
think I know what you're
then
talking about.
what I think was an algae eater because it was like a little long and had
Yeah.
the like
Flat mouth.
not just the flat mouth, the color
A fish with no chin.
yeah, fish with no chin, glass jawfish.
Just that flat neck.
The pattern on it was like an algae eater. And so he kept just taking the bags out and putting them on top of each other. And I was like,
Like that was
this
going
is
to do
making-
anything?
I don't know if he was trying to keep them warm or cold. Like it was just him moving them around a lot.
I don't want any of them to feel superior to the others.
Yeah, I want them all to know that at any point in their life, I could change how they live. You ever buy fish just to play God?
I have a feeling that's what some people do, actually.
Yeah.
Same with plants. You just want to feel powerful.
Yeah, you want to watch something die in your apartment that you're allowed to kill.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not as grim as, other pets.
You just walk by the plant like your days are numbered.
What's the thing? It's like I remember one time Jess was getting angry that one of her plants like kept doing bad, like and she was doing everything right for it, and she's like, "This plant's gonna fucking die." I'm so disappointed. I say, "Don't they tell you to talk positively to the plant?" And
Yeah.
she's like, "If it would get its fucking shit together." I'm like, "No, but maybe that's what's killing it."
Yeah.
If they keep saying you should be positive to your plants, and you're meanwhile you're pouring water into it. Just live, you piece of shit.
Yeah, you're really being like a step parent to this
Yeah,
plant.
exactly. Yeah, the plant knows you don't love it.
Yeah. You're just trying to
You're just doing your job.
to get with its mom,
Yeah, I sat down with our cactus and I said, "You can call me Dad."
Yeah.
I'm not trying to replace your dad. Your dad cactus. Your dad tuss.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Now that I'm like getting a bit older, I have friends who are dating people with kids for the first time.
Oh yeah.
And one of my favorites is,
You ever date anybody that had a kid?
nah,
Okay, me neither.
nah. But I I've been told, this was not like, I wasn't privy to this conversation when it was happening. But I've been told one of our friends, not you and I say me and the person that told me the story, tried to bribe the kid and just tell him to tell his mom that they went to Disney World, had a great time, and gave him $150.
Wow.
But in my head, I was like, you almost at Disney money.
Yeah.
That means you really just don't want to spend the time with them because you almost had enough money for both of y'all to go.
You didn't want to get to know the kid.
Yeah. It's like, listen, you can go over the story with me and everything. I got 150 for you.
Yeah.
Just, tell her we had a great time. Tell her we hung out, whatever.
What happened? Did the kid keep up his end of the deal, or?
It seems like it.
Because if not, it'd be great too if the kid just took the money and then was like, "Guess what he just fucking did? Wants me to lie about going to Disneyland."
Yeah, it would be funnier if he took the money and was like, he hit me. He struck me.
Well, then she's like, "Well, so where's the money he gave you?" He's like, "Oh shoot, I must have lost it.
He must have hit me so hard that it flew out of my pockets."
Anyway, don't worry about all these Hot Wheels.
Yeah. Because it's also very hard to spend money as a little kid.
Especially that amount of money. You have nothing really. Once you buy a few toys, then I'm just like, okay, now I've got more money.
Imagine if you come home with like a full arms full box of Snickers and then just try to act normal.
I found it.
Yeah, I found this box. Fell off a truck, Mom.
Can we keep it? Yeah, it fell off a truck.
Fell off a Snickers truck, and they wouldn't want them all road rashed and everything.
This is gonna go to the discount store. I want these Snickers to have a good life.
Can I tell you when I was little and we used to go to the dollar store and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while they'd have like a brand name candy there.
Yeah.
For like way too cheap, and so other kids were getting excited in the aisle to check out, and I was always like, "What did y'all do to it?" Because it's only when I go to other stores, it's only 20 cents more.
They're all pre-melted.
Yeah. I was like, what's wrong with this?
Or we grave it was just like a mislabeling though. Oh, awesome. A Snorkers.
It's like, oh man, Mom, can you give me that Twiddlers?
I can't wait to eat this Malky Walks.
Yeah. Wow. This chocolate is so spicy. This Herschel's bar does not taste good.
Give me a handful of Scuttles.
Yeah. Scuttles would probably be fire though.
Scuttles, I bet.
Yeah, Scuttles sounds like the people who lost the lawsuit to Skittles that actually came up with Skittles.
Yeah.
Like someone tried a Scuttle and they were like, I'll just take this home in my mouth without chewing. And then they just spit it out at home and try to figure out the recipe from there.
Right, yeah. A Scuttle is made with real fruit. Yeah. It's actual fruit flavor.
Yeah, but that's too expensive. So they went with what? Titanium dioxide.
Some red 47 or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
So the restaurant reviews.
Oh, okay. So it was just this restaurant review that made me laugh because it was to like southern seafood place, and they were complaining about the wait, which is a valid complaint. Like they were like, wait time was extra long.
Damn,
and
this
everything.
is how fucking hot and melty my brain is right now. I'm like, what? Like the fish was too light? I literally was like, they were complaining about the weight. Like catfish supposed to be heavier or something. That's how fucking.
Maybe you do have heat stroke.
I think so.
Maybe that should be the title of this episode.
I think the name of this episode, I already thought. The name of this episode probably just be Josh and Logan get heat stroke.
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm good. You're the one that's all.
Nah, you said some shit earlier.
What did I say earlier?
I don't know.
What did I say earlier that I didn't mean?
some-
I stand by everything that I've said.
I've meant everything I've said, but you've also left out some words.
I don't know if I believe you.
All I could do was loud.
Yeah, but I would say that even if it was freezing cold in here. All I could do was loud.
Okay.
Yeah. You acted like you've never made fun of how I've said things before, and I'm only talking like this now.
I don't know.
If I didn't have my history, then yes, I'd be like, you should call an ambulance. But because I talk the way that I talk, this is par for the course. So, yeah, they were complaining. Do you need me to slap the back?
No.
Oh.
I choked on water now. That I think definitely was more like the angle I'm sitting at. This is not a comfortable angle to drink.
Yeah, we should do a supercut of everything in here that's unusable.
I think that'll be the episode, bud.
No, we should do, because I think that honestly we've got some great stuff, and then we have stuff where I'm like, are you like just now where I'm like, it looks bad on camera because I don't look concerned enough. I can.
Oh,
even
you're
tell.
just trying to protect you.
I'm not trying. I'm telling you to put it out. I'm not trying to protect me at all. I'm just saying in the camera, I'm sure I don't look concerned enough because I wasn't sure what was happening. I didn't realize you were choking. I just thought
It wasn't choking. It just went down, the wrong tube or whatever. Just kind of.
people say that, but are there really multiple tubes in your throat?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. You always like went down the wrong hole.
It's
there's-
whatever it is that people say when that happens. I think I swallowed like a weird air bubble because again, I'm like, I rarely drink reclined. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like if you were like one of those people that needed the home health care and they sat you like this, it would be to kill you.
Yeah.
It'd be you taking a sip of water and just like, ugh.
Because even right there, I just took a sip and I realized how much like air is in your mouth when you're trying to like get a drink like this. Anyway, the catfish was too heavy.
I mean, it's barely worth doing.
No,
anymore.
come on, we're here.
So the catfish was like, the catfish was fine. The wait time to get in was very long, and then the wait time once they sat down was just as long. So they were like, well, why aren't we still like? What's the point of even waiting inside if the wait time is going to be as long as we were waiting to get in the restaurant, right?
Right.
And then the food came. The catfish was good, but every other side was insane. Was like their mac and cheese was like. Clearly, some of the macaroni had been cooked all the way, so it was crunchy as hell. And it just made me laugh.
That's Cruncheroni. Just you're good.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It's a new cool thing we're doing.
And this person said in the review that they chipped a tooth on the mac and cheese.
Oh, damn!
Like they broke a crown in the back. Because the mac and cheese was like they it's not like they ate the whole thing. Once they realized that it wasn't like a freak thing,
Right.
They were like, "Oh, I'm done with it." But then they took. Obviously, you take a spoonful. You're very hungry. You've been waiting for an hour and a half or more, and so as soon as you get your food comes, you start digging in.
Yeah.
And they bit into this like very undercooked mac and cheese, and just
That's great.
lost a little bit of
Yeah.
a dental work with it.
We thought you ordered it rare.
Yeah, we thought you really wanted a challenge in your mac and cheese.
Yeah.
We weren't sure if you were one of these absolute wimps.
Yeah,
who
are you
likes it cooked all the way?
Yeah, are you on a
through.
raw diet? We thought you were on a raw diet, and that's
Yeah.
what this. We just give it to you. We just straight from the box.
Yeah, that's why it is piping hot cheese with not even cooked macaroni.
Oh man,
Yeah.
did you have another one, or was that the whole?
No, I mean that was it.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
I liked it. Then I think we, as much as we didn't get to the review, it took up the perfect amount of time. I think because now we can open the
And you talking about how we both have heat stroke.
I didn't say I didn't have it worse.
All right. It just seems like between the two of us, if one of us needed attention, it should be you first.
Oh, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Don't help him.
No, I'm just saying, if we Uber to the hospital right now, I'd be like, hey, my friend is not doing well. And the simple fact I was able to explain that to you means I'm fine.
I am not disagreeing with you. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying we both need an IV, I think.
What have I done?
I like that you're
a fiddle.
I like that we spent most of this both
so healthy,
complaining about how hot and uncomfortable we are, and now you're pretending like everything's great for you.
I'm not saying everything is great. Almost everything is great.
All right. Well, let's open up with them up. Let's see here. I've got a couple picked out. This is from Bucko. Who is it? Bucko or Bucco? Because spelt. I'm wondering if am I supposed to put more stank?
I think it's Bucco.
Okay. I just can't tell if it's like because like it looks like the word book. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like Bucko is different than Bucco. You know what I mean? I'm just wondering.
No, I'm with you. I just think you said it right the second time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's what I just wanted your opinion.
What I like about this already is that we've pronounced their name several different ways, and then
We had to have got it right.
At some point, and now the way they open up is funny because it's lots of iterations of our name.
That is true. I didn't even see that. Yeah, this one is titled Advice, and it says, Hey, Jogan, Lashi, J-Lo, Squeaks in Toontown. This is Bucco. I wanted to suggest that y'all start an advice segment on the podcast. I think you did really well when giving advice during the mailbag last week and think that should be a regular thing you do. That was, I think, off of the relationship advice we had gotten into. Also, Josh, get Logan's face tattooed on you, or y'all can get matching / complimentary tattoos. Like Logan gets a little man holding specs, and Josh has a little man that's squinting and tripping. I just got my first tattoos less than a week ago, and they aren't that sore. Now, that part just seemed like a brag.
Yeah, that does seem like I just don't feel pain like some of y'all.
Yeah, I'm doing great, but you two are scared of needles. Mm-hmm. Also, if we're asking for advice, I don't really know how to flirt sober, and I want the lady that did my tattoo to be my girlfriend. She's very pretty and really interesting. Kind of older than me, but I don't really be dating people my age, which I think is okay because I'm an adultish woman. I'm 21, so you don't think I'm a minor. That is probably good clarification to put in there. Because if you were like, I'm 15, I'd be like, oh, don't worry, you're going to strike out with everyone for the next 10 years.
You should leave her alone.
How do I start talking to her? Because I have her number. Thanks for the podcast. I love it. And you guys, my mom loves it when you aren't swearing. Sorry, that's mostly at me. My friends love it because we have the same sense of humor. And I've put a few ex-boyfriends on game. Thanks for being the sun in my stormy weather. Kind regards, Bucco. P.S. Sorry this email is so long. Not that long. I think you did great. I think you nailed it with the email length. So if I could tackle the question first real quick.
Okay.
To me, it really depends on one caveat. It depends. Do you have their number because they gave it to you? Or do you have it because they do your tattoos? Because if it's just because like they're the person you hit up for like, oh, here's what I'm thinking of getting, lining up the appointment time. Because I know people who have that. They just have like their tattooist number. So if you have it strictly from that business transaction, you may want to leave this person alone unless you have a personal relationship with them. If they gave you your number because you guys like hit it off and then exchange numbers to like talk, then that just changes it. Then you are open to a conversation, I think. Mm-hmm. But I think otherwise it's a little bit of like, trying to hit on a waitress because they're being nice to you. And it's like, but that's part of their job,
Yeah, I slightly disagree because I think that if you have their number in a professional setting,
right,
but then you strike up a conversation that's light, so not even directly getting to.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's undoable. I'm saying it just changes how you do it.
Mm-hmm. I think that if you can bring up light conversation that's not tattoo related while having their number, no matter which way you got it, then there might be the possibility for a coffee or a lunch or a chat.
Right.
I think that it's kind of like when you're in school and especially when you go to a small school or when you're in a camp or something, and they just give everyone's numbers to everybody. That's not the same as having the person's number.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like if you go to camp with someone and you're all camp counselors, and so you have all the other camp counselors' numbers, that's not you having her number.
Yeah.
Because she won't know that you're calling because it's you when you call. But if in any form you were given the number specifically, and then you use that number to have a light chat that's not in any way romantic or about meeting up, just like, hey, I thought this thing was funny, something like that. I think if that is reciprocated, then now you can see an open door potentially,
right,
for a meetup that is lunch. I think any approach that takes it slow is kind of fair and leads to no one being uncomfortable. And then also, if you're talking about how to approach people, hit on people sober, I would say that, especially since this is your tattoo artist. So this is her tattoo artist?
I believe so.
Okay. So this being her tattoo artist, you just roll up and you're like, hey, baby girl, you already been sticking it in me.
Jesus Christ.
What? This entire time?
Don't say that. Don't say that to them.
It's nothing you haven't seen. All right. We would just be doing what you do, but a little slower.
You've already been in me and causing me pain. We basically married.
Yeah. Let's do this together.
Yeah.
So read to me again the part hitting on people sober. What else was that?
All right. So I don't really know how to flirt sober, and I want the lady that did my tattoo to be my girlfriend.
Okay.
She's very pretty and really interesting, a little bit older. How do I start talking to her because I have her number? And again, I think if she gave you the number because you guys were like chatting and exchange numbers for even whether dating and or just a friendship, then I think you're open to just, friendly conversation.
So my thing as well, when it comes to approaching people sober, I think that people who need to do it slightly tipsy or with like a little bit of that liquid courage are forgetting and overthinking that these are just people moving through the world like you. So I understand the intimidation because I've had to approach anyone that I've ever approached sober. I've had to ask anyone out that I've ever asked out sober. So I get that there's a little bit of a fear of rejection, and then there's a fear of embarrassment. But on the other side of that thing, even if it were to happen, is just you knowing where you stand now, which is better than wondering and hoping and overthinking and everything.
Yeah.
I think that you also can point to any person, and if you ask them the amount of times in life that they've been horribly, humiliatingly rejected, they're always lower than you would think. So we spend our entire lives trying to avoid any of them happening. But then when you really look at someone just taking you to task for asking them out, I'm not saying that never happens. I'm just saying those things are so rare. Like any decent person that you would want to be with could treat you in a way that, oh, okay, maybe they're not into it, but at least I know now.
Yeah.
The fear that we have about approaching people or flirting or like our intentions being misrepresented always through our imagination take such a worse turn than they usually do in real life.
Well, I think it's because too the hardest part about approaching sober, and I think this is why a lot of people like to do it with liquid courage, because it does literally give you that like confidence, because one of the hardest things is being confident in yourself, and that's what it always takes, is like, what is the part of you you're most confident in, the most part of your sense of humor that you're like, I think I'm actually funny in this way, or blah blah. It takes a long time, any of us, even us as comedians, takes a long time before you feel like really comfortable just being yourself in the world. And that's why I think a lot of people like having that liquid courage, because it kills some of those. Not so much that it gives you courage, it just stops some of your, I don't know, practical thoughts of maybe about being too much. You know what I mean? I think is more what it is. So it's like, and I know especially like 21, like not saying you don't know who you are, but that's a tough age too, to sometimes, because you're still just kind of acclimating yourself to like out on my own adult life. You know what I mean? So it's like whatever parts about your personality that you're just like, and you might initially be like, I don't like my personality. That's fine. Get past that thought. What are the things about you think are the most appealing? Like for me, it was always like, you know what? I do know I'm funny. I know not everyone finds me funny, but I do know I am funny, and I can lead with that and be confident in my sense of humor. Not trying to be jokey all the time, but being confident in my sense of humor and be like, well, if they don't like it, then they're not going to like me. And while that might hurt sometimes, that was always enough for me to be like, oh, well, then I won't pursue this person anymore because they don't really get what I'm talking about. Doesn't mean they're dumb or anything. Just means like this will be a hard relationship if I'm constantly making these jokes and they don't like them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like it's that high risk, high reward kind of situation.
Yeah. So I would even say that sometimes when I've just seen from the outside looking in that sometimes even when people try to flirt while they're not sober, they're not really flirting the way they think they're flirting as well. So it's not like you can ever. It's best to take these things head on emotionally because it's not like you can cheat the system in a sense. Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I've known guys who had just trouble around women. And so then they like get a little tipsy because they were nervous about asking someone out.
Right.
And then they ask them out way too close to their face. And now you have a different issue. So it's like being comfortable with yourself and settling into yourself is, that's great advice because I think that that's the best way that in any situation you start to know and feel worthy of someone else's time and attention.
Yeah.
Which is the main point of being confident in approaching a person.
Yeah. And if you shoot your shot and it doesn't really work out, they do your tattoos. So now you can just easily sidestep this into a business transaction. I'd be like, oh, hey, I was thinking about getting this. You know what I mean? If it's like, they didn't really take the bait or whatever, I'm going to, all right, let me not take the bait. That's the wrong wording. But you know what I mean? Like, they don't seem to be going for this. Like, oh, hey, I'm thinking about maybe getting another one. What do you think about this? Is this something you could do?